Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit the ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video. Welcome everybody, let's take a look at the gold market. So everybody knows that today Jerome Powell will talk on Wyoming on the Jackson Hole speech and Jackson Hole meeting, and actually the price behavior that we see indicates the indecision and just expectation. So market just wait for external driving factor, external impact on the markets, what Jerome Powell will tell about the Fed policy on the nearest future. So as we have talked about it in today's Forex video, there's two different camps exist. The first camp suggests that Jerome Powell should confirm the dovish policy and start the long-term dovish rate cycle. United States economy. Others think that it was not quite a mistake, but it was some compromise with the markets that recently in the last meeting the Fed has cut the rate. And in this meeting, the Wyoming speech market, Jerome Powell should use for to fix this conversational mistake. So he should calm down a bit markets and tell that it's not the time yet for a full rate cycle of the dovish policy. So that's the second camp. My personal opinion, guys, is I also talked about it already, that by the statistics that we have on the markets, United States economy in particular, I do not see really solid reasons for rate decreasing. So good employment, good consumption, healthy inflation that's gradually rising. Not bad in gross domestic product results. Not bad situation in the real estate market. So everything stands in general good. So maybe not outstanding, but it's a very nice overall position compared to what we see right now in other currencies, in other countries. So my opinion, I'm more gravitating to the idea that Jerome Powell will express the neutral view on the situation and will not confirm the aggressive dovish policy. So it will be more weighted opinion on the situation, and I will not be surprised if even he will give the hint that Fed will not intend to cut the rate in September. That's also possible. So my opinion is that will be more dollar supportive statement. As a result, we're still watching here the possible drop. Why we're watching mostly just for 1480, just because, as we said on the daily chart, this will be daily result and support. So 1478, 1480 areas will be probably the floor for today's session. From the technical point of view as well, so market currently doesn't look like it prepares to rally. Mostly it indicates that the price action mostly shows some denying of the possible upward acceleration, because potential butterfly that we have talked about recently has not been realized, and market instead of that turns to flat action. Yesterday it has dropped a bit lower, hits the lows of this previous area and stands there. That was not the grabber, guys, because here before that we have the turning trend to the bearish. That's just turning trend to the bullish again. So currently market again turns to bearish trend, and actually it keeps the idea of the bearish dynamic pressure, so I will not be surprised if we will have some downward action here. Maybe it will not be very strong, but it's still possible. In the larger, longer term picture, everything depends on these lows. As we previously talked about it, this will be not just some technical impact on the markets, but also the psychological effect. Because if market will see that market is dropping below the 1480 area, that will trigger more profit taking and the long covering from the short-term traders. In this case, the downward action probably could accelerate if market will take it out of these lows. That's why mostly everything depends on these lows. But until that moment, since we have also minor target, minor steps here, well, we also could consider this possible downward action first to the daily support around 1480, 1483, so the completion of the bottom line. And that will be probably the first destination point. On the hourly chart, we also do not have something really special, so our idea of early reversal inside of the triangle has worked. Market has broken yesterday the support of the triangle, but it has stopped downward action right at the next support, as we have indicated, as the natural support resistance area. Then market has retested the broken trend line, and now is turning down again. So yesterday rally has been erased. So this price action also makes me think that the spike down is more probable. So depending on what you would like to do in the current session, you could focus on different setups. So if you prefer to trade greater swings on the high time frames, today hardly it will be acceptable setup for you, because as I said, it all depends on breakout of these lows, but since these lows coincides with the daily oversold, hardly we will get real significant breakout here. So probably in this case it's better to sit in the hands and wait what will happen, and plan some activity on the next week. If you trade on the intraday charts, on the short-term price action, then the bears could watch for this area as a target and keep watching for a breakout of these lows, maybe to use stop entry order or something on that sort. For the bulls, it's more difficult situation because we do not have any clear bullish patterns here, and you will depend totally from the Jerome Powell words. So, well, I don't know, maybe to use this top as an indicative area for taking the long position slightly above it by using the same stop long entry orders, or trying to take the position here with the hope that maybe Jerome Powell said something, will tell something dovish. In this case, maybe market will accelerate. But this area is interesting because these previous stops, and this will be also the previous line. If market will break them up, it will suggest already that comments will be dovish, and in this case market could accelerate further. So that's probably your signal area for the trading. But I'm not really very big expert on the trading of the events, because I'm not the fan of this strategy. I prefer to act when I have the background, and personally I usually skip these setups when you need to gamble on direction based on what Jerome Powell could say. But in general, mostly depends on the 1492 lows, and on the upside this will be probably 1507 areas could become some kind of the border between the bullish and bearish Jerome Powell comments. But anyway, today it will depend mostly on the external impact.